Welcome to the Open Test, where we are able to test and see the changes that Wargaming is going to be bringing into the game in the next update. What we're taking a look at today is the Tier 10 Swedish auto-reloading heavy, the Kranvagn, a vehicle that Wargaming had big ideas for in their actual patch notes, which we can take a look at on their official Discord. The Kran's max forward speed will become 4 faster, engine power, terrain crossing capacity, and hull traverse speed are all improved. Intra-clip reload time between shells in the magazine will be 0.5 seconds shorter. Armor penetration of the APCR and heat is reduced by 5 and 10 millimeters, and respectively, the aiming time is 0.7 seconds longer. Now that's a lot of changes, and one of the biggest changes, and what I personally considered that was going to make this tank overpowered, was the intra-clip reload time becoming half a second shorter. That would change its reload from 3 seconds between shells to 2.5. But it turns out that Wargaming did not actually do this, and they completely either misworded it or just flat out lied to us. We can see that the TVP intra-clip reload is set at 1.88, and they wrote the exact same thing, intra-clip, and they also said between shells in magazine. That is exactly what they said for the Kran as well. So anybody that reads this would very easily conclude that the Kran is going from a 3-second intra-clip, which it currently has, to a 2.5. However, that is not the case for the Kran. If we actually make our way over to the Kran in the open test client, we can see that the intra-clip is still 3 seconds. And if we pull out the current state of the game, taking a look at my Kran, we can see that the intra-clip reload is 3 seconds. So, no, the vehicle is not going to be having any changes on the actual dumping time. We can see that Wargaming is also correct on the TVPs changing, though, because going over to the TVP, we can see that the vehicle is indeed being set at a 1.88 intra-clip. So either Wargaming doesn't know how to type as a multi-billion-dollar company, or they've decided what they've actually wanted to go through on the tank is not the actual changes that they listed on their Discord. Either way, I'm very happy because I did not want to deal with a Kran that had a 2.5 second intra-clip. So what actually happened to the vehicle? Well, it is going to be gaining damage per minute. If we take a look at the shells themselves and compare them to the current state, we can see that my Kran has a total of 2,048 DPM, where the next Kran is going to have 2,132. We can see that the overall base auto-reloading time on Shell 1 is going from 12.5 to 12.03. On Shell 2, it's going from 8.79 to 8.33. And on Shell 3, it's going from 7.87 to 7.41. So yes, the Kran is going to be receiving a pretty substantial buff overall on its 3 shells. The first shell is getting a 0.47 second reload boost, which is quite nice. The second shell is also going to be getting somewhere around a 0.4-ish buff, and same for the third. It's actually pretty nice overall. So the Kran is going to be getting about 1.5 seconds of overall reload time better on the vehicle, which is going to make it a lot more effective. If you are shooting the vehicle on Shell 3, which is the 7.41 second reload next update, the Kran is going to be sitting at 2,300 damage per minute. If you add on the 800 damage that Shell 2 and 1 give you once you dump the clip, that means that the Kran has effectively 3,100 damage per minute. That's pretty impressive. So the Kran is actually a very strong heavy. They keep buffing it and buffing it. I should point out that we haven't even taken a look at the mobility yet. If we make our way over to the mobility slot and we compare it to the current Kran's mobility, first of all, top speed does get 4 faster, going from 30 to 34. But look at the power to weight difference. The power to weight went from 14.4 to 16.2, and the traverse speed went from 34 to 40. Holy moly, is the Kran getting a massive buff. What you can see in front of you is a replay with the Kran versus the T110E5. We are going to be seeing which of these two tanks can now go faster in straight line top speed. Now the E5 features a higher top speed of 42, but what the Kran features is super speed boost still. Super speed boost allows it to have a top speed of 39 and a much better effective power to weight. So we can see climbing up Middleburg Hill, pretend this is either a comp battle or a pub game, look at the Kran go. Holy crap. This thing is absolutely stripping the T110E5. We are climbing up this hill at 23, 24, which is pretty dang impressive. And now that we've been able to get over the hill, we are going to chill at 34, completely stripping the E5. And I mean, this is what the new Kran's going to be like. It is way faster than what it used to be. And we actually beat the E5 into base C. Wow. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is the new Kran. Not only is it going to feature more DPM, but it is also going to feature much better traverse speed and mobility. Holy crap. Some other things I should point out is that the Kran does lose some penetration. For example, the gun went from 374mm of heat pen to 363. It's not a really noticeable nerf. 363 is still enough to cut right through the turret of an E100, even if it's angling. And again, the Kran has like a nearly impervious turret itself, especially when you're hull down. So it's not like you're going to notice the heat pen nerf, but I still figured I would showcase it, just in case any of you are wondering what else is happening. So really, to say what the Kran's getting here is a mega buff. The tank has always needed more mobility, in my opinion. What I've been trying to tell Wargaming to do is give it a top speed of 40, make its reverse go from 18 to 15, and remove its super speed boost. That would not only make the tank a lot more flexible due to the top speed, but the tank would also be a lot worse on reversing, and you wouldn't be able to use the super speed boost to influence your reverse anymore. So it would be a nerf and a buff at the same time. I think that would be fine. Right now what we have is probably the most busted Kran state we've ever seen, where the vehicle is not only getting better DPM, but more mobility. It's gonna be insane. Now, taking a look at the aiming time, did Wargaming actually change it? Well, we gotta put on the same equipment for both vehicles. So let's do V-stabs, let's do enhanced gun lane drive, and it's 3.7 seconds of aiming time. Compare that to my current Kran, and it's 3.2. So yes, it does get a slight aiming time nerf of about 0.5 seconds. Is that really gonna matter? No, not really, I'll be honest. The Kran has pretty decent on-movement dispersion, which means that your overall aiming time isn't going to be affected really that much. In fact, when testing it with Flossie, didn't really seem to change all too much at all. So overall, the Kran's just getting flat buffed. You're going to see this tank spammed in comp due to that mobility. The fact that you can get it into the front line and up hills and things that the Kran never would have been able to do before is insane. And for pubs as well, this is going to be probably one of my more preferred tanks. It's been one of my most played tanks to begin with. I mean, making my way over to my garage, we can see that my Kran currently has 980 battles with a 76% win rate and 3,500 average damage. I mean, it's one of my favorite tier 10s because of how easy and simple it is to play. Next update, it's going to be even simpler and easier to play. It's going to be insane. It's going to be absolutely insane. So, yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Kran, a vehicle that is going to be getting some of the biggest and monstrous changes we have seen for a lot of the tier 10s. Stay tuned, because in the future, we're going to be breaking into other vehicles. Something that I'm very excited to break into is this, the CS63, the tier 10 Polish medium, a vehicle that looks really boring, I'm not going to lie. But oh well, we're going to break in everything you're going to have to know. So stay tuned. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.